Imagine pulling up to your dream home after scraping together every penny for 15 years. Only to have the cops banging on your door because some nosy busybody decided you look too working class to belong. That's exactly what happened to Alex Rivera. A quiet welder who'd just bought his slice of suburbia. But little did that HOA tyrant know. Her smug judgment was about to unleash a storm that would strip her bare and leave her scrambling like a rat in a floodlight. Alex Rivera had poured his soul into that house on Elmwood Drive in Sunnyvale Meadows. A cookie-cutter subdivision in suburban Ohio where the lawns were greener than envy and the rules thicker than a lawyer's billable hours. He'd skipped vacations. Driven a beat-up Chevy pickup that guzzled oil like a frat boy at happy hour. And welded steel beams until his hands were maps of scars, all for this moment. At 39. He finally parked his rented U-Haul in the driveway under a sweltering July sun. Sweat dripping like he'd just run a marathon in hell. The neighborhood looked picture-perfect, manicured hedges, gleaming SUVs, and American flags flapping like they were auditioning for a 4th of July parade. But beneath that glossy facade lurked a suffocating web of HOA bylaws. Enforced by the self-appointed Queen Bee. Marjorie Klein, President. Enforcer. And professional pearl clutcher. Marjorie. Mid-50s with a bleach blonde bob that could deflect bullets and outfits straight out of a country club catalog. Had ruled Sunnyvale for 8 years like a mini-dictator in Lululemon. She preached community harmony while wielding fines like a guillotine. All to mask her own shaky throne. Alex was midway through hauling his thrift store sofa inside when the squad car rolled up. Lights off but sirens in his gut. 2 officers stepped out. Hands hovering near their belts like they expected a showdown. "Sir. We've got a report of suspicious activity, someone entering this vacant property without permission," the burly one said. Eyeing Alex's dusty overalls and the U-Haul like it was a getaway van. Alex blinked, setting down the sofa with a thud that echoed his disbelief. "This is my house. I closed on it last week." He fished out his deed from a box labeled Life Savings Proof, his ID still warm from his pocket. The cops scrutinized it, radioed in, and finally nodded. "All clear. Sorry for the mix-up." Caller said it looked off. As they drove off, Alex spotted her, Marjorie. Arms folded like a fortress. Perched at the end of the cul-de-sac with a smirk that screamed "I win." She sauntered over. Heels clicking like ticking bombs. "Oh. Dear. I do apologize for the fuss," she cooed. Her voice honey-dipped venom. "We prioritize safety here in Sunnyvale. When I saw that truck and, well, someone I didn't recognize fumbling around an empty home, I had to act responsibly." Her eyes raked over his calloused hands and faded tattoos. Lips curling just enough to say what her words didn't, "You don't fit." Alex forced a nod. "Name's Alex. Just moved in." Marjorie's smile tightened. "Charming. Do review our covenants, they keep things civilized." She pivoted away, leaving Alex stewing in the heat. His triumph soured by the sting of being profiled on his own damn porch. The first welcome from the HOA landed in his mailbox like a poison apple, a crisp envelope with the Sunnyvale logo. A pretentious swan that looked more like a vulture. "Violation notice, unsightly debris," it read. Citing the flattened moving boxes he'd neatly stacked for trash pickup. "Fine, $50. Alex chuckled bitterly, picturing Marjorie typing it up with glee. "Sure. Because cardboard's the real crime in suburbia," he muttered, paying it to avoid drama. But the hits kept coming. Next week. Another letter, vehicle appearance non-compliance. His trusty Chevy, parked proudly in the drive, was detrimental to aesthetic uniformity. Suggested remedy, hide it in the garage or upgrade to something befitting our standards. Fine, $100. Escalating weekly. Alex glanced around. Next door. A neighbor's rusted RV squatted like a forgotten relic. Untouched. Down the street. A boat trailer gathered weeds. Selective much? He grumbled, firing off a polite email questioning the inconsistency. Crickets. Marjorie's silence screamed louder than words. Rules for thee. Not for me. Inside. Alex seethed but played it cool, documenting every infraction like a detective in his own life. He wasn't the yelling type, he was the watching type. The kind who lets fools dig their own graves while he sharpens the shovel. Whispers started slithering through the neighborhood like smoke under doors. Alex caught snippets at the corner store, heard he's renting out rooms, shady types coming and going. It stemmed from his buddy Raoul stopping by to help fix the AC. Crashing on the couch one night. Marjorie, ever the vigilante, had twisted it into potential illegal subletting. She delivered the third notice herself, knocking at dusk with the enthusiasm of a tax collector. Mr. Rivera, she purred. Envelope extended like a dagger. Reports of unauthorized occupants. We must ensure no one's turning our serene community into a flophouse. Alex arched a brow. That was my friend helping with repairs. One night. Here's the receipt if you need bedtime reading. Marjorie's eyes narrowed, her concerned facade cracking. Well, standards must be upheld. Provide occupancy proof, bills, affidavits, or face escalation. As she left, Alex overheard her on the phone. Yes. He's confrontational. We can't have that disrupting our harmony. Harmony. My ass. He thought. This was control. Pure and petty. Wrapped in community values. He confided in his sister over a late-night call. This which is making my dream house feel like a prison. She sighed. Alex. You earn this. Don't let her gaslight you into thinking otherwise. Her words fueled him, turning quiet rage into calculated resolve. He started chatting up neighbors discreetly, old-timers like Evelyn Hayes, who'd lived there a decade and rolled her eyes at Marjorie's name. She's pulled this on anyone who doesn't kiss her ring, Evelyn whispered over coffee. Fines for flower colors. Bans on holiday lights. But her own yard? Immaculate exceptions. Evelyn hinted at rumors, Marjorie's flashy lifestyle, designer bags, spa trips, on a retired accountant's pension? She's hiding something. Han powers her shield. The tension boiled over at the monthly HOA meeting in the stuffy community hall, where folding chairs squeaked under restless asses and the air hummed with unspoken grudges. Marjorie presided like a judge on high, gavel in hand, flanked by her yes-men board. She breezed through agendas, pool fees up. No dogs over 20 pounds, her voice a symphony of faux empathy. Then, community concerns. She leaned into the mic, eyes scanning like a hawk. We've noted increased irregularities, unfamiliar faces, vehicles at odd hours. For safety, I propose a watch program to report anything amiss. The room shifted, eyes darted to Alex in the back. She hadn't named him, but the implication hung like a noose. And questions about property legitimacy, ensuring true owners reside here. A guy up front snorted. Yeah. Like that guy with the junk truck. Murmurs rippled, laced with nods. Alex's blood simmered, but he stayed seated, noting every face, every whisper. Marjorie's concern was a masterclass in passive aggression, turning neighbors into her unwitting mob. Post-meeting. The fallout hit, kids yanked indoors when he mowed his lawn. Anonymous notes in his mailbox, fit in or get out. One evening, he found his mailbox spray-painted, "Trash belongs curbside." Alex snapped photos. His patience fraying but not snapping. "Oh, Marjorie. You're making this too easy," he murmured. Hiring a PI named Vince Torres on a whim. Vince. A grizzled ex-cop with a knack for dirt. Dove in. HOA tyrants like her? Always skeletons. Weeks later, Vince reported Marjorie's 2015 bankruptcy, followed by a miraculous rebound, refinanced mansion, luxury car, while HOA funds showed gaps. Missing receipts. Phantom vendors. And get this, she borrowed from the development firm she contracted with. Cozy. Huh. Alex grinned darkly. Keep digging. Meanwhile, Marjorie upped the ante, slapping him with a nuisance fine for disruptive inquiries. Her email, Mr. Rivera. Persistent complaints erode our unity. Comply. Or face legal review. Alex replied sweetly, unity? Like how your Lexus gets a pass on parking rules. No response. But he sensed her squirming. The escalation peaked when Alex uncovered more. Vince's report detailed $112,000 in disappeared dues over 6 years, funneled to bogus accounts tracing to Marjorie's kin. Former board members whispered off-record, "She bullied us out when we questioned." Alex rallied quietly, "Evelyn. Account a neighbor named Ted. 5 others tired of her reign. She's not protecting the neighborhood, she's looting it," he said in hushed backyard meets. Marjorie caught wind. Firing a cease and desist via a shady lawyer, cease your slanderous campaign or face suit. Alex laughed. Vince confirmed it was Bluff City. She's panicking. Good. He prepped for the annual meeting. Folder bulging with evidence. Security cam footage of suspicious shadows near his house, likely her minions. The night before, he barely slept. Adrenaline buzzing like a faulty wire. This ends tomorrow, he vowed, visualizing her mask cracking under the spotlight. The community center buzzed like a hornet's nest at the annual blowout. Overflow crowds spilling into aisles. The air thick with anticipation. Marjorie sat center stage. Makeup flawless but knuckles white on her gavel. She raced through reports. Voice clipped, dues stable. Reserves healthy, moving to adjourn. Alex shot up. Emergency motion, independent audit of finances. Past 7 years. By neutral CPA. Gasps echoed. Marjorie's face twisted, surprise to fury. Out of order. Agendas are set. But Ted seconded. Evelyn thirded. For more rising like a rebellion. Per bylaws. It hit the floor. Alex laid it bare. We've got $142,000 collected last year. $81,000 spent, where's the rest? No receipts. No transparency. Whispers swelled. Marjorie banged her gavel. This is baseless. I've sacrificed endlessly for this community. While agitators like you stir chaos. Her voice cracked. Eyes wild. You don't understand stewardship. Alex held up docs. Stewardship? Like your bankruptcy loan from our contractor? Or the expenses matching your spa bills? The room erupted, shouts. Phones recording. A mom yelled. Show us the books. Marjorie stammered. This is a smear. He doesn't belong, he's disrupting our values. There it was, the ugly truth. Spat like acid. Ted called vote, hands flew up, 37 yes. 14 no. Audit passed. Evelyn piled on, suspend Klein pending results, conflict. Another vote, 32 yes. Marjorie froze. face a mask of shock and rage. Then bolted for the door. Papers scattering like confetti from a failed parade. The hall dissolved into chaos, neighbors demanding answers. Boards scrambling. Alex stood tall. Heart pounding. As Evelyn clapped his back. You unmasked the monster. In the weeks that followed, the audit unearthed the rot, $139,000 embezzled. Funneled to Marjorie's consulting gigs and phantom repairs. Police charged her with fraud, she pled down. Sold her house at a loss. And vanished like smoke, rumors said, to a dingy apartment. Rolex pawned. Sunnyvale elected a new board, Evelyn at helm. Transparent reports flowing like water. Alex got refunds. Apologies. Even invites to barbecues. Neighbors waved genuinely now. Kids played freely. He sat on his porch one crisp fall evening. Chevy gleaming in the drive. Feeling the weight lift. No more shadows. Just the quiet victory of belonging on his terms. But here's the question that lingers, was Alex the hero for exposing a corrupt Karen? Or did he cross a line by digging into her past, after all? In a world of petty power plays, who's really the villain when everyone thinks they're just protecting the neighborhood?